Good hello everyone and welcome to today's video. For those of you who don't know, I am actually leaving town tomorrow. I'm going to be heading out on a Kentucky trip through Southeast Asia with a few other awesome YouTubers, and then after that I'm going to be spending about a month in South Korea with my boyfriend. And because I've been planning for this and talking a lot about travel and a lot about, just packing and running errands and getting ready, a lot of you guys have asked me to kind of do a video talking about my process of getting ready for travel, especially for travel that's international, especially for travel that's this long. So I figured I would do a little video today for you guys. This is in no way a comprehensive list of everything that can and should be done. This is just kind of my process of preparation, and hopefully it'll just give you guys a little bit of information and maybe help you remember some stuff that you might have forgotten if you are going on a trip. So the first thing I'm going to cover is like kind of my pre-trip stuff. So this is all stuff that I've been kind of taking care of over the last few months. The first thing that I lined up was a pet sitter, obviously, because I have a dog right back there. It's kind of his spot when I make videos. So you obviously want to make sure that, if you have animals or anything that needs to be taken care of, you have somebody that you trust who will do it and spend time with them and obviously feed them and give them water and all kinds of good stuff. So pet sitter's number one. If you have a kid who's not furry, then you should probably find a babysitter if you're not taking your kid with you. That's an obvious one. I'm sure you guys won't forget about your own kids, but yeah. Definitely have somebody to care for your loved ones. Now, if you're in a house or you live alone in an apartment and you don't have any roommates or anything like that, you need to find somebody who can take care of your house for you, especially if it's a long-term trip. And you want to remember little things like if you need to shut your water off or shut your gas off or anything like that. That's entirely up to you. I'm not going to do any of those things because my brother lives with me and he's going to be watching my house, which is awesome. So if you do have something like that, you need to obviously find somebody who you trust to come over, and if you've got plants or something like that, just to keep an eye on the house and collect your mail and all kinds of good stuff like that. The next really important thing that I have set up for myself, just for peace of mind anyway, I have this all the time, but I receive all of my bills that I can online. And the reason that I do that is so I get reminders regularly and I can pay them directly from my bank just right away. So if you're going to be traveling again for long term, you especially need to make sure you have this set up because it can really screw up your credit if you don't pay bills on time, and that would be just the worst thing ever to not have anyone able to help you fix that situation. So you definitely want to make sure you get your bills sorted out or paid ahead of time. Going along with that whole like banking and finance aspect of travel, you definitely need to make sure that you have a travel flag on your accounts that you're going to be using overseas. For example, if you have a credit card or a debit card, you need to notify your bank where you're going, just to let them know so that they won't stop your account or anything like that, and then you're stranded somewhere and your money doesn't work and you don't have anything with you to save you. That is not a good situation to be in. It has happened to me before, so don't forget the travel flag. Another pretty obvious one, but I feel like I have to say it, is you need to make sure you have your passport, like all the time. If you're going somewhere international, you need a passport. You will not be let into any countries without it. You won't be allowed to leave countries without it. It will just be a really, really big problem for you. So always have your passport ready and make sure that it is not past the expiration date. Going along with that passport thing, you need to double check that you don't need any visas to be allowed entry into any countries that you might be visiting. I think one of the countries that I'm going to be visiting on Kentucky requires a visa, so you have to get special photos taken for that sometimes. You got to do applications for that, so make sure that if you're going somewhere that requires a visa that you get all that paperwork sorted out ahead of time. Another good thing to keep in mind is if you're going to be traveling somewhere internationally and English is not the official language of the country, you should probably work to learn a few kind of phrases, like hello, how much is this, where is this, those kinds of things, so that you can at least communicate a little bit with someone in the event that they don't speak any English at all. And this can be a really daunting task. Once you get started on this, you can get on a roll and it can be really overwhelming and scary, so don't overload yourself. Just try to learn some basic phrases. Just please and thank you are really, really good things to know. And finally, another pre-trip thing, and we're not going to get into the controversy of whether or not vaccinations should or shouldn't happen. I'm not going to do any kind of political discussion about that. What I will say is that I have been vaccinated against several things when I have been abroad, especially when I went to South Africa. There are just some things that the CDC recommends that you get vaccines for because it can be incredibly dangerous for you, potentially life-threatening if you don't have those vaccines. So yeah, I would recommend that you take care of that if that is something that you agree with or believe in. That is definitely something that you should look into and get taken care of before you leave for your trip. I just whistled. Did you hear that? Haven't seen the paperboy in a while. I can't do it. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about my packing process. So that was all the pre-trip stuff that I like to handle. And this is going to be a little bit tricky for me to talk about because this is really different. I mean, this varies on a case-by-case basis. It depends where you're going, for how long. All of that stuff really can impact what you need to bring with you. But some important ones to remember are, you know, your prescriptions. If you're taking any medications, you really need to make sure that you have those with you on your person at all times, and also that you have enough for your entire trip. You need to make sure that you have enough toiletries for the duration of your stay. I mean, you know, you can buy stuff basically anywhere, but if you have a product that you can't live without, or something that you regularly use that you would just panic if you forgot, make sure that you have all of that stuff and that you have enough of it. Sunscreen is a must for me everywhere. It doesn't matter if you are going somewhere that you think is cold and you're not going to be outside, you can still get sunburned even if it's a cloudy day, so sunscreen is really, really, really important, especially for your face. I also always like to bring some kind of headache medicine, or maybe like an anti-diarrheal medicine. I know that sounds really gross, but you're gonna be really glad that you have it if you or someone that you're traveling with gets sick. Just have a couple of them on hand so that you don't have to run to a pharmacy in the midst of an emergency. Another thing that I bring basically no matter what is a bathing suit. Again, even if you're going somewhere cold, you never know if somewhere that you're staying might have a hot tub, so it's good to have a bathing suit with you just for fun, or if you want to take a plunge in some freezing cold water somewhere, bathing suit. Another one that I highly recommend no matter where you're going is closed-toed shoes. If you are going on a beach vacation and you're either going to be shoeless or in flip-flops the whole time, I guess it doesn't really matter, but if that waterfall hike that they bring up to you in the hotel lobby sounds amazing, you're going to really want sneakers for that. So I would recommend bringing closed-toed shoes with you everywhere you go. Another essential that I have is just kind of a light sweater. I always bring some kind of hoodie or just a light jacket that's kind of small that I can stuff in a bag randomly, just because you never know what the weather might do. So yeah, just bring a sweater just in case. Plus it's always cold on airplanes. Another thing that I bring that is essential to what I'm doing, but maybe is not as important for you guys, is a laptop and basically all of my adapters and converters and chargers. Anything to do with electronics, I pack that stuff. Like, I have a table that I lay everything out on, and I just go through every single item and make sure, like, okay, I've got a GoPro. Is the charger there? Yes. I have my 70D. Is the charger there? Yes. And I just make sure that I have every single thing that I could possibly need. Even if I really only need one adapter for all of those things, I try to make sure that I have like emergency setups in case I need to charge something right away. That's obviously important based on what I do for my job, but it's also important for you guys. If you want to take pictures, it would really suck if your camera battery died and you didn't have a way to charge it. And also, it's pretty important to remember your wallet. That's a really, really serious one. Some form of ID. If you're not going international, you definitely need a driver's license or something that identifies you, otherwise you will not be let on your plane, and that would suck. So that's kind of just the short list of what I bring with me on trips. Those are just sort of my essentials. But all of that being said, really the only things that you need are your passport and a credit card. You can basically solve all of your problems as long as you have a form of ID that is accepted worldwide and, you know, money that is accessible and accepted worldwide. So yeah, guys, that is it for my travel and packing tips. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you have any other questions about anything that I talked about, or if you want to ask me anything else about travel, I would be happy to talk to you about it. You can either tweet me, it's just at allispeed, or you can write to me in the comments below and I will do my best to answer all of you. Alright everybody, thank you again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in Southeast Asia. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Bye guys, love you.